Let's talk about play schema. So as your child grows, and this is very common in the toddler years that you're going to see it a lot, as your child grows, the way they play also will change. So they will get more creative, more experimental with their toys and their uses and the game ideas that they create. It might mean that they need more space and more time to play and to develop, and that's going to grow as the child grows. So play schemas are really just what I call stages of play that they go through. Thus, your toddler is constantly throwing things. Like no matter what you do, they're just throwing things, and then you want to stop that behavior. We need to shift our minds. My child is going through a developmental stage, and what I need to do is I need to create an environment that fosters that creativity and that developmental stage that he is going through. Now, let's take some time to observe our children. Let's see what their behaviors are, and I try to identify in which play schema they're working through. There's really 6 types of schemas that I want to talk to you about. The trajectory schema is when my child throws everything, and this is something my son has gone through a bunch of times. You would think that they had stopped and that they outgrown that throwing stage, but no, it comes back from time to time. What I do in that time, I take all the hard toys away from the play area and I replace them with a lot of soft toys. So things he can actually throw, balls and stuffed animals and bean bags, things that, remember, we're creating a yes environment. So if he's throwing everything, well, you don't want to put toys that he's going to throw and he's going to break. We want to create a yes environment with things that he can throw and he can explore that schema. We have the positioning schema. So this is like when they grab the little cars and they start aligning everything, or their dolls, and they start aligning them. What you want to do is you want to create activities or give them the supplies so that they can do that alignment. So maybe blocks and things like that. The third one is the rotation schema, which is when my child spins everything. So he's interested in things that are round. Maybe you'll see them turning their little toy car around and spinning the wheels and see how it goes. Sometimes you'll find them spinning themselves. If you see a lot of that movement, it's probably in the rotation schema. The transportation schema is one of my favorites, which my son never went through it, not yet, is when they just moved everything. So they'll grab your shoes and they'll put them in the kitchen, or they'll grab a box and they'll put a bunch of toys and you'll see them pushing the box and transporting them to the other side of the living room, and things are just like move from place to place. So if you see that, that's the transporting schema. So you want to foster that by creating, maybe you add into your playroom like a wheelbarrow that he can use, or a little wagon that he can transport. Some people have those shopping carts, the little small shopping carts. Those could be fun. Like I said, observe and just see where they're at. There is a chance that your child is with 2 or 3 stages at a time. They don't just have to have one. Keep an eye for that. The 5th one is enveloping and enclosing schema. And this is so cute because you'll see them. They'll like to wrap around themselves in blankets, or they'll wrap their little dolls in blankets. They'll try to hide in the closet. Manu went through that stage and it was like you have to find him all the time. So you want to make sure that, he cannot wrap himself in unsafe places. So make sure your washer machine, your dryer machine are child locks and things like that. The last one, number 6, is connecting schema. And this is when the child likes to build things and connect everything. So the magnetic tiles will be awesome. If you have trains that connect to each other and you pull them. And it's also the disconnecting schema, right? So as they try to connect it, or maybe they build it, they want to knock it down and break it and see how that, what happens when you do that. So those are the 6 schemas. I want you to kind of keep an eye when you're with your child playing, or when you're cooking and you're seeing their behavior, so that you know what kind of activities and things you can present to kind of foster that stage that they're just trying to work through.